Hello and welcome to the Dublin Arsenal podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Giles. On our review show tonight, I'm joined by Arsenal season ticket holders Eamonn Donnelly and Matt Bourne to debate and analyse our 2-2 draw against our former manager Unai Emery's Aston Villa side at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday evening. And remember to check out the River Bar for every Arsenal match throughout our 24-25 campaign. So sit back and enjoy the show. On the show tonight, as I said in my intro, and as always, first of all, I'm joined by Eamonn Donnelly. How are you, pal?
Evening, Jonathan. Evening, Matt. I met a self-employed fella there talking to himself wearing the Do Not Disturb sign. He said he was having a staff meeting.
It never
gets
gets
to get better or worse.
I'm trying to strike the barrel. I'm trying to strike the barrel.
Things can only get better, Matt.
I'm trying to strike the barrel. I think I'm doing a great job.
Perfect. Yeah, really good.
As we said, this is only forever for radio.
Yeah.
I'm also joined by the most beautiful guest as well. It's definitely no pageant, but Matt Bourne have to do it this time around to you, pal.
I'm all right. Thanks, Jonathan. I don't know whether to be happy with that comment or be disgusted. I haven't a clue.
And today, Donald Trump got inaugurated. I think that should be a compliment.
Yeah, don't talk to me about that guy. Let's not get into a debate about that guy. Seriously.
As long as he gives us a few quid towards new signings, I'd be happy.
Matt, there is no debate, full stop, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. I know.
Get off here, yeah. No, it's great to have you back on, Matt. It's been a while.
Thank you.
And as always, to Eamonn for taking your time out, pal. And also a big shout out to Carl, Ozzy Osborne from the UK. He hasn't been on in a while, but a shout out to himself, and hopefully we'll have him on in the near future.
Yeah, I was speaking to him on Saturday in the King's Head. He was in good form. Yeah.
I know his workload with his job and all has him tied up at the moment, but hopefully he can come back on again. As always, he's always welcome, along with you lads. I suppose into the review, as always, of the Aston Villa match from Saturday evening. Match day 22 in the Premier League. 2-2 goals from ourselves, from Martinelli and Havertz, and goals from Aston Villa, Yuri Tillemans and Ollie Watkins. A result that leaves the second in the Premier League table with 22 played, 112, drew 8, lost 2, and 44 points. So a 6-point gap between ourselves and the pool, but we won't worry about that too much at the moment. Nothing's won till May, as they say. In terms of the analysis from what I have, William Saliba seemed to have pulled up in the warm-up. I don't know, Eamonn and Matt, is it a hamstring injury or is it?
He pulled up in training the day before, because when I was flying over, there was a breaking news story just before we get on the plane. And what LiveScore said was a knock. There's some suggestion that it's a hamstring. There was no update on the site today, even though he was due in for a scan today. So I don't know. I don't have the inside track on that one.
Okay, so it wasn't in the warm, but I don't know. It seems to be a niggle of some sort, and hopefully, I presume it's going to be short term. Hopefully, so fingers crossed. He can come back for Wolves away. Hopefully, but we'll see about that. In terms of the action, first half, Roy sent in a good cross to Martinelli at the back post. I thought he'd had a really good game, Martinelli, along with Leandro Trossard as well. He gave Matty Cash an awful time of it down the wing. But Royce's cross was met by Martinelli, and our former keeper, Emi Martinez, managed to palm it away. Aston Villa's Maatsen cut in from the left, and he had a powerful shot that David Ray palmed well away from danger. And then the Trossard, he cut in from the wing, and Martinez really made it a one for the camera moment. It was a decent effort. Looked like it was curling in, but Martinez, we know, was a good shot. Albert palmed it away, but he made the most of it, I suppose. Trossard's cross from the left was met by Martinelli at the back post for our opening goal. Martinez was going backwards, and it just went over the line as he was trying to palm it away. But I thought Martinelli in the first half, he was really alert down that wing. He was trying to get in behind the fullback all game in the first half, and I thought he'd done really well. I suppose on Wednesday evening against Spurs as well, I thought he had a decent game at that as well. As I said, really pleasing with Trossard giving Matty Cash trouble down the Aston Villa flank. I thought Mika Marino played really decent as well in midfield. Declan Rice was superb as well, pushing forward when he could, making really good passes and crosses. Lewis Skelly as well, another superb performance, growing game on game. It's like he's been playing there all his life. In one particular moment, the disguise pass for Leandro Trossard near the end of the second half when Trossard does flag the shot wide. What a great pass, I just have to say there. Into the second half, 54 minutes, Trossard again outpaced Cash on the left flank, and his cross into the box met by Havertz's first time shot came off the legs of Martinez and 2-0. And you really would have thought, that was game. I wouldn't say game, set and match, but I really thought we could have controlled it from there. But you have to give credit to Villa. They were a turn side in April that done us in the end for going on to win the title when we lost 2-0. But in the 64th minute, Lucas Dina's cross was met by a diving header of Yuri Tillemans in the box. I don't think Ray had any chance with it. I just thought myself, Thomas Partey should have been more over to Dina, I thought it was really poor defender. I thought Thomas Partey had a really poor game now. I thought marking wise, but he's not a full back. It's not his position. I'm not going to take it out on him, but I thought he should have been really outpaced, running right over to Dina. But the quality of the cross, you can't take it away from Dina, and it was a good header, and it was 2-1. 7 minutes later, Matty Cash sent in a great delivery. Again, Partey was cut out, losing his man Watkins, and Watkins finished off well high into Davy Ray's goal. Again, he'd no chance with it, I don't think. And Ollie Watkins again coming back to haunt us at the Emirates. Marino then, of course, is that powerful volley he had, which deflected off Kai Havertz. When you look, thing is, when you look at that match of the day on Saturday evening, from the two angles behind the goal and in front, from where Marino was shooting from, it looked like his hand from where Marino was shooting, and from behind the goal, it looked like the chest. I don't know. I really don't know about it. I think it should have been given. Not just saying that because, being boys, being an Arsenal, but I think it was fair. I don't know. You couldn't say that was deliberate. Again, VAR. It's just been a mess. And then Skelly's disguised pass into Leandro Trossard. He should have really, I suppose, if you had an out-and-out score, they probably would have put it away. But you can't fault Leandro Trossard's performance on Saturday. I thought he was a man of the match in my opinion, and I think that goal from Wednesday night, scoring the winner against Spurs, has only given him even more, of a lift. But I thought he was immense. We could have, I think we should have really. Do we deserve to win it at least by 3 or 4-2? But I'll take a point. It's not. We're not on a losing streak as such. Just sadly a few draws, too many draws here and there. But I'll come to yourself, Matt. What was your analysis of the game Saturday?
Yeah, the draws kill us every year. I mean, we just seem to have a huge amount of draws every season, and they're an absolute killer. You may as well lose 5 games and as draw 8. It's unbelievable. For the last few games, the Tottenham game aside, where we got the win, obviously, I thought we've played very well. I thought we've actually played some good football. Both against Newcastle, against United, and again against Villa, but the finishing is just not there. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Even when we're breaking forward, there doesn't seem to be a lot of good movement in around the box or anything else. I think we've been struggling quite a bit with that, but we're very short of players. We're missing 2 of our most creative players between Ben White and Saka. The way they work that right wing, it's just not the same without them. It's affecting Odegaard's game as well. Look, Odegaard is a fantastic player, and he always puts in an incredible shift. He's still playing well, but without having Saka outside him, and if he's relying on Martinelli or Sterling coming in, and it's just not the same at all.
Yeah.
We really need to get some players back now as soon as possible. I don't know how far Ben White's out. I thought I saw he was back in light training or something.
Yeah, I've heard that myself, Matt. Yeah,
it'd be great to see him back. You don't know what you've lost till it's gone, and when players like that go missing, it really changes the dynamic. I think Mikel's done what he can do, what we have, but that creativity, that Saka provides on a weekly basis,
it's priceless, isn't it?
It is absolutely priceless. And when Saka plays, when Saka and Odegaard play together, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable, and without that week in, week out, it's very, very hard to get good results. We're drawing games we should be winning. I say I think we've drawn 8 games this season, and we should have won.
Draws.
Yeah, we should have won 5 of them.
Matt, briefly, sorry for cutting across.
Yeah.
Do you think Mikel Arteta in the summer transfer window, he had we signed it. We've signed a lot of defenders, in the transfer windows. But do you think, over the last 2 seasons, what's happened, and with the amount of games we've had and the chances of your top players getting injured, do you think he should have made a priority to have signed a right winger and an out-and-out striker, with the loss of Saka and Jesus now? Do you think that should have been...
Well, yes and no. I mean, look, we all want the out-and-out striker. We all want this 30 goal a season striker.
Yeah.
But we've been scoring an awful lot of goals without the out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
Up until now, I mean, last season I think we were the top scorers in the league. So it's not a problem. We have a different style of football that maybe doesn't suit an out-and-out striker. So look, ultimately things might have to change. I still believe in this system. I still believe in Arteta. I still believe in this team. I think we've got some exceptional players. The performances, you can't fault them. The worst part of the performances is we're not putting away our chances. We're creating, but the movement there's something not right with the movement in around the box. A lot of the time it seems like they're trying to walk it into the net sometimes. I mean, I've been very critical of Martinelli this season because, I've seen him come back in the last few weeks. I've seen him get his game together somewhat. But Martinelli can offer so much more. So much more. And he needs to, this stage of his career, and I think you said it a couple of weeks ago, Eamonn, he'd want to be bloody careful because he's capable of so much more than he does. I mean, there was an incident there, I think it was probably about 30 seconds prior to Villa's first goal, and they had a corner and we broke.
Yeah.
We broke out and went forward. Martinelli, ran like hell at the defence. We were, 3-on-3, and he ran to the corner and didn't put the cross in with 2 players actually running through the middle.
What do you think that is, Matt? Do you think it's, I know we've said this on a few podcasts, do you think it's a confidence thing or he takes too much time?
It shouldn't be a confidence thing. He's a bloody good footballer.
Yeah.
And he's got incredible pace.
Yeah.
And, he's incredible talent, but he's just not using it to his full capacity. He's just not. I don't know why. It blows my mind sometimes, He's everybody raves about him, how good a player he is. And he just never seems, week in, week out, he'll score a couple of goals and he scored a nice, he took the shot well, he hit it powerful enough to knock Martinez back into the net and put the ball over the line the other day. He scored a couple of goals there in the last few weeks. But he's capable of so much more. He really is. And somebody suggested it there a couple of weeks ago, actually, in the supporters club. Can't remember who said it to me. I think it was maybe Nigel in the supporters club. And he said, would it not be worth throwing Martinelli down the middle? When we're in a situation where we have, a player there with electric pace, running through the middle, getting onto the balls that are sent into the middle, because he does have electric pace, and he will take on the defender down the wing, whether it be the left or the right. They get all the way down to the corner, and more often than not, he loses the ball or he puts in the back cross or whatever else. I don't know. I think he's capable of so much more than he's producing at the moment. And like every Arsenal player, I want to see him succeed. But he's with the club a long time now, and he should be producing the way Saka produces.
Yeah.
And Saka's playing. I really believe that. I think he's capable of what Saka's capable of, but he's just not producing it. But look, I think I probably blame my daughter for that draw because she's been to 16 games and she's seen 12 draws out of 16, and she was at the game the other day. So I'll throw the blame on her. That's probably the best bet. Listen, we push on, we keep going, and we still got a lot to fight for this season. I don't think the gap is too big yet.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
we want to see Liverpool drop a few points. And when Liverpool drop a few points, we've got to put in the extra shift to to claw it back. I think we've only done it twice this season, or once this season when Liverpool have dropped points that we've actually gained.
Just
So
briefly, Matt, in terms, I'll be bringing Eamon in now in a second. Eamon, I know you're waiting on the bench a bit. In terms of the 2 goals we conceded, do you feel Thomas Partey was at fault being, from the position he had at Atletico Madrid, that's drilled into you? Do you think he was a bit lackadaisical, or do you think it's just it's not his position? And
look, like you say, he's not a right back, and plus, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff hanging over Partey as well, which may be affecting his performances, or maybe the team's attitude around him, or whatever else. I honestly don't know. I really don't know, but I think he's gone in the summer anyway, regardless. One way or the other. And I think we're going to have to replace him. Marino came in there during the summer. I don't think he's been exceptional by any means, but he put in a decent enough shift there the other day. I thought, like you said, I thought Trossard was superb. I thought his confidence is after building.
Yeah.
His confidence is building after the last few weeks, getting a decent run on the side. So it's good to see that. Declan Rice was superb as well. I thought he ran his heart out, and he tried to create a lot. But I suppose for me, I'm just so happy to see Miles Lewis-Skelly play for Arsenal. He's a kid who he has unbelievable confidence. Unbelievable. You see them coming through now and again. I mean, he's in the team for a reason. He's in the squad for a reason. And he's got so much confidence on the ball. He's scared of nothing. He's not scared to take on a player. He's not scared to do anything on the pitch. He's not scared to get forward. And he puts in an unbelievable shift. You can see him against Tottenham, what it meant to him. And, to see a kid like that, getting the crowd going again, and pushing around with Richarlison and everything else. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I hope he's there. He's there for a long, long time. And I'm sure he will be, But listen, we have to move on. Not ideal at all, dropping points to Villa. Like we dropped a lot of points. We drew with Everton, for Christ's sake, at the Emirates as well. So they're the games you got to win. You got to win them games. You can't go and beat Villa at Villa Park and then draw with them at the Emirates. You've got to put the double over them. Yeah,
you have to be putting these teams away.
Yeah,
I know the man with the best seat, as always, was our very own Eamon Donnelly. What was your match analysis and views from the game on Saturday?
Well, I suppose it's rare enough. I have a bit of a different view than Matt on what happened on Saturday. First of all, I think Martinelli was unbelievable in the first half. He was absolutely unbelievable. He looked like the player that we all wanted, and there was electricity in the crowd every time. He was doing things that you said, that's the player we want, right? He tapered off a bit in the second half, but the energy levels of the team dropped in the second half, right? I was worried. The other thing I kind of have a bit of a different view on is that I think the movement was terrific on Saturday. And I know it hasn't been great in some of the games, particularly the Everton game and the Fulham game and all that. I thought the movement was terrific. And we didn't have centre halves taking 7 and 8 touches on the ball. We got the ball to Trossard and Martinelli very, very early. I thought it was a really, really good performance. But I was worried going over to the game because the club in its entirety had put a massive amount of mental and physical energy into winning the North London derby for the supporters. That sometimes after that, it's inevitable that you hit a bit of a dip. So in the first half, we got the job done. But I always felt that it was the type of game we had to put to bed because I felt that the team was going to lose energy. I'm telling you, folks, I was there. We were running on fumes in the second half. I think the reason why Thomas Partey didn't cover, he was the cause of the 2 goals. You're right, Jonathan. He didn't close down Dania early enough, and he got lost in the box with Watkins. And that shouldn't happen to him. He's a defensive midfielder by trade. He should have an innate instinct to be able to block that off. He didn't do that.
Sorry, Eamon, just in terms of the second goal that he lost Watkins, do you think in one part of Partey's mind he was assuming that Havertz was going to get that head and he was ready to?
No, I actually think Raya should come for it.
Do you think so? Yeah.
And sometimes if you think your goalkeeper's going to come, you see, all of that happens so quickly.
Yeah.
It looks to us on forensic analysis of looking at it on television, oh, he never moved. But if you stand still for a split second, and if you think your goalkeeper is coming, now, like, the instinct of a player should always be, don't wait for somebody else to deal with it, you deal with it, right? Tony Adams style, Steve Powell, you deal with it, right? But I think in his mind, he thought Raya was going to come. Declan Rice had a real go at him.
Yeah. Did he? Yeah.
It went on for quite a while, you know.
Right.
But in mitigation for Partey, and I know Matt says there's stuff hanging over him and that, he was terrific against Tottenham. He gave a lot, you know. And I think he was slightly empty. I actually think the Partey experiment at fullback now has to stop no matter what.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think we'd have been better off playing Declan at centre back and Partey in the middle of the pitch where he's been doing his best stuff. That's his best position. To me, Thomas Partey has been our best midfielder this season. In the midfield, it's chopped and changed, chopped and changed, chopped and changed. He's been a constant there. We get much better results when he's in the middle of the pitch than when he's in right full. And I think if we're really stuck for a central defender with a right foot, I think Declan could slot in there seamlessly. He's played there before. So that's something to think about. But I think the performance was really good. We had a dip. And to the team's credit, I'm telling you, when you're there, like, as you know, it's different. But when they got 2-2, most of us could only see 1 minute in that game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't us. And the team got up after a knockout punch and really went for it in the last 15 minutes. Really, really went for it. I mean, Mikel Merino hit the post.
Yeah.
A bit of, and he drove it off the post. It wasn't just something that, right? Martinez then blocked the rebound. Trossard near the end struck the ball really well.
Yeah.
But because it's on his left foot and the angle he was at, he had to really cut across it. It just misses. If you see that from behind the goal, when Trossard hits it, he thinks it's a goal. And then
Everyone. Yeah. Sorry, it must be the game with you being there. Sorry, how good was that disguised pass from Skelly to, you know, fool to two or three Village fans?
That was a brilliant pass. Skelly was brilliant. So much so that when we're talking about, do you know what? If Calafiori was back, I'd nearly put Skelly on where Bukayo Saka was.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
This boy can play anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere except, I'd say, anywhere except either centre back or centre forward. I'd say he can play anywhere on that middle diamond on the pitch. To give energy on that side and a bit of disguise in the pass and a bit of creativity in the absence of Wanyeri. If Calafiori was fit, I would put Miles Skelly on that side. Right?
Yeah. He's got feet, you know. He's got great feet. He has.
He has it all. But
he's got great skill, great vision. No, but I just want to go back just for a second, Eamon. Sorry. You know, I saw the first thing I said tonight was they've played very well in the last few games and they haven't got anything out of it. Like if they did play well, I'm not doubting it. There's just something right at the end something seems to be stopping them. You know, players not getting into position and stuff where they should be, and you know, and Martinelli did play fantastic in the first half, no doubt about it. You know, but I just find there's some incidents with Martinelli where he could do so much better because he's better than that. You know, and I always I know you can't perform week in, week out for 90 minutes at this incredibly high level because very few players do, but he is capable of so much more. He should be doing more.
Man, all I'll say to you is that if he played like that every week, I think we'd be all happy with him. But I think, I think the team collectively were running on empty in the second half. And when Villa hit us with a couple of sucker punches, the character that they showed to get up and dominate the game, they were running on empty. The team was knackered.
Yeah.
You know, you could see it. And I'll tell you what, the crowd in the stadium were really, really behind the team. Everybody got that, except one gobshite behind me. Young boy, and Usher, he was using F and C words at our own players and all that type of thing.
I heard about him actually.
I had a bit of English conversation with him. I told him that I don't mind him having an opinion, but not to be effing and saying on our own players because you're not be better off supporting the team. He sat down in a huff for a while, you know. But just on the handball, Jonathan, it's not VAR that's at fault there. It's the law. The law is at fault. It's a stupid law. Because I tell you what.
You think they should have stood?
No, but how can you resonate this, right? Just think about it. if that's in the other direction and Havertz is a defender, that's not a penalty. So therefore, it's not a handball, right?
Yeah.
But because the law says if it strikes your hand, no matter how unintentional it is, and it goes directly into the goal, it's a handball. But if it strikes your hand, right, and some monkey-eating eagle in an Arsenal jersey gets the finishing touch to it and puts it in, well, then Havertz is not a handball. But because it goes in off him, it's bonkers. So whoever designed that law knows nothing about the game, in my view.
But the
Even
pace
Ollie
that ball
Watkins,
coming in at from Mourinho,
Jonathan, even Ollie Watkins himself said
he admitted himself.
that seems a bit harsh to me.
Yeah.
It is. It is absolutely.
Power, that shot Mourinho hit it at. I don't think Havertz even had enough time to even go like that.
But
Do you know
that's
what
the
I mean?
thing. So where's the advantage there for Havertz to handball out into the net?
Exactly,
There's no advantage to it.
Yeah.
There's zero advantage. The ball is. He tried to get out of the way. He actually tried to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
you know,
I think we should sign Vincent. I think we should sign Vincent van Gogh with no arm and put him up front.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't think he's available. He might be on a boss man during the summer or something, you know.
But listen, you know, look, I mean, I found coming out of the stadium, I've decided I'm going to wear earplugs now. I had two very contrasting experiences, right? And it kind of sums up everything about the how different some of the Arsenal supporters are. So I'm coming out and there's a balloon head, as on it described him as. He was about 21, 22 years of age. And I heard him boasting to his mates that, thank God, he sat in under the stand drinking beer for 45 minutes rather than watching that rubbish. Now, I actually said to him, we'd be better off if you just went to the pub and gave you a ticket to somebody who deserves it.
Yeah, deserves
right?
it.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking stuff. And he was ranting. I mean, I'd say he's one of these guys that takes to anti-social media. And then I met another young boy around 21, 22, when we were kind of shuffling up past the tube station. You know the way you get into these conversations with people. And he was very angry, but he was angry in the other direction. He was talking about all of the adversity that's happened us this season. And he said, that's not on the manager. That's not on the manager. He said, you know, players running on empty because, you know, we don't have loads of players. That's not on the manager. But I want to, and it was a completely different contrast. But just to come back to one of the questions you asked Matt Jonathan about, should Mikel Arteta have prioritised this, that, the other in the summer window? See, it's not just about Mikel Arteta. It's an all-a-club thing. And if you listen to his interview after the game, there was a very subtle hint to the board that we need reinforcements.
Yeah.
Now,
Mikel
Arteta cannot come out and say, the board needs to support me here, because if he does that, he's a dead man walking, and he wants to stay in the job, and I want him to stay in the job. So he made a very subtle remark that, you know, the players are on empty. It's remarkable what they've done. And you asked the question, should he prioritize the striker and the winger? Well, he did. He prioritized Benjamin Sesko. We put down 60 million for him, but he didn't want to come.
Do you think it got too late in the window to do anything then, Eamonn?
Well,
you know, not panic buying.
We went for Sesko in June. He doesn't want Gyökeres. He doesn't fancy him.
Yeah.
So if you don't want the player, why would you sign him? Right?
Here's one for you, sorry, Eamonn, for cutting across, but
I just want to be with the right winger.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Eamonn,
like what right winger is going to want to come to the Arsenal?
With Zaka, yeah.
What right winger of the caliber that people expect us to go out and shell out money for?
Yeah.
Going to come to the Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think Raheem Sterling was kind of that answer, but with the performances that he's shown this season, maybe not? What have you made of Sterling? You've been quite at a lot of home matches, Eamonn, over the whole season. What have you made of Sterling? You know, do you think he's not a fit for the Arsenal?
I think he's a footballer who has lost what he had. We got Sterling in a lucky bag on transfer deadline day. So there was we needed somebody for cover for Saka. Nobody expected Saka to be out for 3 months. He's never injured, right? We wouldn't be having this conversation if Saka hadn't got crocked. Right? Because we'd be about 2 points behind Liverpool, and we'd be all rubbing our hands. But the thing is, Saka gets crocked unusually because he's had no pre-season. The football calendar is what it is, and his hamstring gets ripped. You know, Raheem Sterling, to me, we got him in a lucky bag. There was no risk associated with it. We have to pay him 100 grand a week. Chelsea are paying the other 200 grand, and there was no cost involved. And it was transfer deadline day, and it was another body. And you never know, it might have worked, but it seems to me as if it's not going to work. But I just want to I think we need to be realistic. I don't think we can be considered in the title race at the moment, and I think that we need to. Like we crave Champions League football for several years. I think we need to mind that now and make sure that we get Champions League football, that we stay in the Champions League,
in the Champions League,
and that when our players are back, we're still in this year's Champions League. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think with what we have available to us at the moment, we're capable of racking up those points. But just to put a sense of realism in it, I just did a little, if you don't mind, just for a second. I want to just do a very quick, sharp analysis. I want leave aside the 6 or 12 points that we were robbed from mad decisions. Just leave them aside for 1 minute. Yeah. So we get a signing in midfield to complete the jigsaw, Mikel Merino, and he breaks his shoulder on the first day. He's out for 8 weeks, and he has no pre-season. We then lose our captain on international duty, right? He's gone for 8 weeks, right? Our most creative spark. We then lose our right fullback for 8 to 10 weeks on surgery. In the meantime, our most versatile defensive cover, Tomiyasu, hasn't featured at all this season, so he's gone. Yeah. We then lose our world-class player for 3 months, Saka. And we might get away with it because Onyeri, a fella who'd been lighting bonfires up to then, he then gets injured. Yeah. Jesus comes back, starts showing a bit of goal scoring form, and he's out for the season. Yeah. Now, and then we lose William Saliba. Now, I don't care what anybody says, right? That's not on the manager. No. None of that's on the manager, right? Mm-hmm. And no team in England could perform at the level we're performing with all of those absences and how confident they've been. And to my mind, Mikel at the moment, he's a bit like a pilot trying to land a plane with a split in the undercarriage. He needs somebody to come in and reinforce it. I wasn't up for January reinforcements because what I don't want to happen is that we spend too much money on some mug that we don't want. And then come the summer, when we know if we got Sesko and another midfield player or two, Zubimendi, I understand is coming, right? And if we got another winger and developed Onyeri and Moisdale Skelly, and we didn't get the chronic run of luck that we've had, I'd still fancy us for the title. But when you list it out like that and say all of the adversity, how in the name of God could you expect us to be up there challenging? Yeah. And it's remarkable that we are where we are. We might have some of those players back in a few weeks. If we win against Zagreb on Wednesday night, to my mind, we'll be in the top 8. You know, and we go Champions League for another 6 to 8 weeks. So look, it's all about getting behind the team and supporting. We're in a crisis, an injury crisis that has ripped the good out of us. You know.
Just like to say, we're playing Dynamo Zagreb on Wednesday evening, of course. But a bit of a history lesson. We played champion. The first team to come was Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League, and our very own Eduardo scored against us. That we all remember. That's where he made his name. But do you think, Matt,
in the first game at what?
The European Champions League? He was the first European team, to play at the Emirates. It was Eduardo was the first European goal scorer.
Before he signed for us.
Yeah, it was in 2000. It would have been 2006. I think I'm right saying 2006-07. And I think he came short. I think he came next.
I think we were in. I don't know. We might have been in the Mercantile or we were in Kate's Cottage at that time. The supporters.
I just remember him that night. He scored.
Just to show you the kind of luck we have. I think Zagreb went 1-0 up. Then there was a blackout in the club. And when we came back on, we were 2-1 up. I think Flamini even scored a goal, you know.
He did, that's right, yeah. Do you think, Matt, if as Eamonn says, if we get the likes of Ben White, Bukayo Saka back, Tomiyasu hopefully as well, Do you think if we reach latter stages like the last 16, last stage of the Champions League, aside from the league, you know, if too many points to claw back, do you think we could have a good go in the Champions League as well?
100%. I absolutely do. And, you know, just going back to what Eamon said there, the players, dead right. You know, when you break it down like that, Eamon, you know, no team could do it. But yet we're sitting in second place. We're off the pace. But, you know, we're doing okay. We're not losing games, we're drawing games. But like it's remarkable that we were able to do that with all them losses. And then all of that, you didn't even mention Calafiori as well. You know, who's been a complete sick note. You know, it was a fantastic, you know, supposed to be a fantastic signing. So there's other players there who didn't even get a mention, you know.
I decided to leave him out of my casualty ward, Matt, for one reason. And the one reason being that, well, at least he's played a few games. And also, we're not noticing him missing because of how good MLS has been.
Yes, you know? 100%, yeah.
But if MLS hadn't come on the way it did, we'd have been looking at one stage with Calafiori being crocked, Zinchenko being crocked, and Tierney being crocked as well.
Yeah, I know. No, absolutely. But no, listen, I think we can, especially if we finish top 8, and like Eamon says, 6 to 8 weeks before we play a game again in Europe. I think a lot of big teams going to go out of the Champions League as well. You know,
the other thing, Matt, is I hear word that they might try and do another Dubai now that they're out of the FA Cup.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, you know what happened with the last Dubai trip? Yeah. No, but like you know, but the last Dubai trip we had our full squad available when they came back. We had all the players for.
No one ever looked this year. If we went to Dubai, Martin Odegaard would get a rare type of sunstroke that keeps you out for 9 months.
It could happen.
Don't put the knockers on Eamon because every time
the season's not over. There's still a long way to go. Yeah. The only competition we're out of at the moment is the FA Cup. I know the Carling Cup is a tough ask, but you know what? Bournemouth went there the other night, 1-4-1.
Yeah.
You know, like they're beatable. You know, we might not do it, but there's only 4 trophies a season to win, and it's very difficult to win any of them. So
since the international break, we've played 12 in the league and unbeaten in those 12 games. Sadly, just too many maybe draws in them. Yeah. As Eamon says, we're not losing games. It's just we're losing players, you could say.
Jonathan, in terms of wrapping up the review, what I'm saying to you is that the players gave everything on Saturday, and they were applauded off the pitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it looked. It was another. I have to say, as a neutral, even watching that game, you know. It was a cracking end to end. You know, it was like this sports game. It's been a really good watch. You know, entertaining football, and as fans, that's all you can ask for, isn't it?
Well, I had one of my VAR moments when the what we thought was the winner went in. Everybody was going ballistic, a la Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
I just went VAR. No, I didn't know.
Yes.
But I just
straight away.
This was too good to be true.
That's always the way. Unfortunately, that's the way it's gone. You're always waiting. You're always watching the replay, and they pause it, and you just think, Jesus, is he offside, or is his toenail offside, or is his hair, his flowing hair offside? It's crazy. They've got to streamline this if they're going to make it work, because there's been too many incidents throughout the season. Stupid things. Yeah. You know, even a Villa player there on Saturday kicked the ball away when we get a free kick. And the same referee who sent off Declan Rice for the same offence didn't even book him. So this is the inconsistency of it. It's always, for whatever reason, it's just so inconsistent, and you know, but we never seem to benefit from it, unfortunately. You know.
Let's hope so. In the next 2 or 3 months, things can go away and we get players back. Most important from injury. But before we wrap this up, it's been a really good review show yourself, Matt and Eamon. I'm going to go for man of the match in this one for Leandro Trossard. Thought he was immense all day. Gabriel Martinelli would have been a close second, and followed by Declan Rice. But Eamon, your man of the match from Saturday?
Trossard was due a good game, and I think he got a lease of confidence after the Tottenham game. Yeah. Trossard was, now, again, when you're looking at it from behind the goal, he absolutely tortured Cash. Yeah. Absolutely tortured him.
There's some pace on him, hasn't he, Leandro Trossard? He's a turn of pace, you know, 1-on-1.
It's not that he has a turn of pace. It's that his pace is okay.
Yeah.
It's that he doesn't lose pace when he has the ball at his feet. Some fellas are running on, they have to control the ball. He can go at the same pace with the ball at his feet, you know. Yeah.
I thought he was putting his crossing on Saturday for the 2 goals, particularly the Havertz goal where Havertz could afford to take that first time because the weight of the ball was on it was, you know.
He had 2 assists, but he also had 2 near misses himself, and a few beautifully disguised passes. You mentioned one about Miles Dow Skelly. There was a beautiful pass from Trossard down on the left-hand side of the box in the second half down to Declan Rice. The beauty, you know.
Your man of the match, or Matt? Sorry.
That's agree with you on Trossard. Although I want to give it to Skelly. Skelly amazes me with his maturity for his age.
Yeah, for his age.
I think he's been unbelievable since he came in, and he's there for a reason. You know, he's been absolutely brilliant. Definitely Trossard was exceptional the other day. But Skelly a very close second for me. Very close.
Skelly's the polar opposite of us, Matt. He's got maturity for his age.
And here.
We're getting worse, you know.
we are. No, absolutely. No doubt.
Camden Ale, sadly for Eamon. Not sure about Matt. But no, another cracking show. We're on a roll. Just like to thank Martin Stoneville, who always edits this. He's on holidays at the moment. So our Polish schooner, Derek, is taking over editing duties. Thanks to Eamon and Matt for coming on this evening, lads. A pleasure. Catch our show on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel as always, and also on Spotify. But until our next review, thanks for listening and subscribing, and see you again.
Cheers, guys.